It is that time of year again. It's almost Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I host it here at my home. And so if you're like me, you're getting everything ready, you're kind of cleaning and putting things away and planning out these next few days because you want to be able to really enjoy when Thursday gets here. But it's also the time of year when those of you who are getting your maternity care from the conventional system and those who are getting close to their guest dates are being pressured into being induced. You might hear things like, don't you want to meet your baby for Thanksgiving? Or maybe, let's just have a baby, as if it's just that easy, right? Well, it is easy for them if you give in. On some level, you probably already know that getting an induction just because of an arbitrary date on the calendar isn't what's best for you or for your baby. But I want you to consider some other things you might not have thought of. I've talked about this in the past about Christmas, but this year I wanted to add some depth for Thanksgiving so you don't end up giving up what's in your best interest in favor of what's in their best interest. Y'all know how thankful I am for you. You know that I do this for you. I hope you know that. And I'm so thankful for each and every one of you who have taken the time to leave me a review. This week's review comes from someone whose screen name isn't really a name, so I'm not even going to try it this time, but I'll just read the rest of it. It says, "Thank you. Lori has transformed my pregnancy. These topics are so incredible. She has talked on so many things that are hard to find credible information on. She's helped me be fully prepared for birth and life after. Having so much information in one place is incredible. I no longer have to search for hours trying to find a biblical and scientific explanation for things. Her experience is evident, and every topic is well thought out and crucial for us to fully understand and make educated decisions in a country where big pharma has taken over the birth practice." Ain't that the truth? Thank you so much to whoever you are for leaving that wonderful review. That encourages me so much, and I'm so thankful for you for taking the time to do that. If you have not, somehow, if you have made it this far without leaving me a review, could you do that one little favor for me today? It takes like 30 seconds. Go over to Apple Podcasts, leave me a quick 5-star written review. It encourages me so much. I thank you for doing that. I thank everyone who has done that. And I thank you to everyone who will do it in the future. You really do make a difference because leaving those reviews is one of the biggest ways that you can help me find other moms like you who need this information. Okay, now I know this week is Thanksgiving. Gotcha. Understand. And I know everybody hates all the materialism that pops up before we can even take time to be thankful. I get it. But forgive me, because considering that I only get to talk to you here once a week, I've got to share this cell with you here because I do not want you to miss this. I know that so many of you have been wanting to take my big course, the Your Birth God's Way online Christian childbirth education course. And some of you have even mentioned that you're going to ask for it for Christmas. So listen up. If you are pregnant or you're wanting to become pregnant, you absolutely must hear this. Starting this Thursday, yes, Thanksgiving, and running through Monday, known as Cyber Monday here in America, at midnight, you can get any of the courses for 20% off using the code Black Friday 24. That's all one word, Black Friday 24, in the summary box at checkout. That's one of the best sales that I have done to date, maybe one of the best sales I have done or I will ever do, because this course took so much time and is chock full of so much information that is just an incredible deal to be able to get it at 20% off. You can take 20% off that big course, the big 8-module course that is about 20 hours worth of content, that it covers everything that you're going to need to know all through pregnancy, to prepare for your birth, to go through labor, to go through your birth, to start your postpartum, to start breastfeeding. Goes through all of it, okay? Or the home birth prep course, which the home birth prep course is more geared to people who are having a birth at home. They cover totally different content. If you're having a home birth, you actually need both courses, okay? Because the home birth prep course is just addressing how to prepare your home, your environment, your family for getting on board with having a home birth, for all the things you need to have at home and all that good stuff, okay? It's not about actually laboring. It's just the prepping your home for the birth. The big course is getting you ready for labor and getting you to where you're going to have the healthiest pregnancy you possibly have and you're going to have the best birth that you can possibly have. It's giving you the best chance to have none of the bad things and all the good things. Okay. So you might need both courses. That's why I'm saying all that stuff. You might actually need both. Okay. You can find links to both at go.yourbirthgodsway.com. You just scroll down just a little bit and it's under the services offered section. Tell your mom, tell your grandma, or whoever it is that keeps asking you, what do you want for Christmas this year? Because there is no better gift than one like this that will keep on giving throughout this pregnancy and any future pregnancy that you might have, because this knowledge is enduring and it is life changing. And when you change this birth and you see what a different world you can have in your birth, it's going to change everything in the future too. And it's going to change the course of your child's life and maybe even their child's life, because they will see how beautiful it can be when you give birth the way God intended. Or maybe you're the one who's already taken the course and maybe you know the immense value already for yourself and you want to share it with somebody else. You can do that too. Just order the course through that person's email address and let them know to be watching their inbox. I wish I was all set up with all little fancy gift cards and all that, but I just haven't had the ability to do that yet. So this is close enough. Okay. Again, go to go.yourbirthgodsway.com, scroll to the services offered section, use Black Friday 24 in the summary box. That sale starts Thursday morning, goes through the following Monday, Cyber Monday at midnight. Okay. Also, excuse me, also, one more thing. If you haven't been to my website this week, first of all, why? You don't go there regularly? Why? But if you haven't been there this week, you might have missed some big news. I now offer a full service supplement dispensary where you can get any supplements that you may need all in one place and always 10% off. You never pay full price. Plus, they are offering a Black Friday and a Cyber Monday sale. So you can stack another, I believe it's going to be another 10% on top of the regular discount of 10%, which is going to give you 20% off of your supplements. That's awesome, right? I've also built several plans for common concerns in pregnancy where you can try one or all the supplements that I put together for you all in one place, always at a discount. There's also all the more traditional vitamins and all the supplements you're used to seeing, but there's even teas and all kinds of other less traditional supplement choices. It's a really, really cool place. So to get the sales sent to you, you need to go ahead and get signed up because they'll be emailing those out this week. Okay. So the way you do that is you have to write this one down, or you can just go to my website, but go to https://us.fullscript.com/welcome/your birth God's way. Or like I said, you can go to my website. It's also under the services offered. So you can just go down there and click the little button. And then you'll get signed up, get on the email list, and you can order all your supplements there. 10% off all the time, 20% off with their sale that's going to come this weekend. And you don't have to go here and there and everywhere trying to find your supplements. It's all done right there for you. Easy peasy. Okay. So go get signed up for that. All right. Enough of all the stuff. I know you're like, I didn't want to hear all that, but guys, I am a small operation. You're looking at it, right? I'm HR department. I'm the recording department. I'm the IT department. I am the on-screen personality. I am everything, okay? So when you choose to invest in these different things that I tell you about, those are things that help me be able to fund this operation, okay? So I appreciate it. Again, I'm thankful for you and thank you for bearing with me as I share that with you. I know advertisements get annoying. I get annoyed by them, but understand that little things like this really do add up to help people like me keep on keeping on. All right, so into our topic for the day. Your turkey is ready, but your baby may not be. Let's look at some reasons today that you may not have considered why you need to skip out on this induction they're trying to push on you for Thanksgiving. I get so tired of holidays in the maternity world because they get manipulated so much. I don't get tired of them because I don't want to attend births. But because I hate seeing so many moms walk into the traps of the system, thereby handing over your peace and your joy so that others who chose this profession, get to have more peace and joy. So you lose yours and they get more of theirs, but they chose to be here. You're just pregnant. This isn't your world. You're just here for a moment and you get manipulated. And who pays? You, your baby, your family. Back in episode 61, I talked about inductions on Christmas, and there is essentially everything overlaps because holidays are holidays in the maternity world. They just don't want to be there, basically. And I don't want to rehash everything I talked about there. You can go listen to it. Again, it's episode 61. And even though it says Christmas in the title there, those concepts apply to this and every holiday. But I am going to quickly review some of them, and I'm going to go into a little bit more depth with others and add some new things on to think about because we need reminders. We all need reminders. It's easy to get sucked back in. It's so easy to get sucked back in. I know so many people who are dead set, or so they say, on having natural births who get sucked into this, and I want it to stop. I just want to remind you, if you are 39 weeks or more, there is a very good chance that your doctor or midwife is going to try to get you to be induced today on Tuesday. You're probably already like, yeah, I know. Or tomorrow. I really wish for this week I had been releasing this a little bit earlier because by now it's probably already on the books. But guess what? Just because you're on the books does not, listen to me, y'all. You listening? It does not mean that you have to go. You don't. If there is no indication for your induction that is medical, maybe I need to dig a little bit more into that about what even a real indication is, but I've done that in other episodes. I can't go into everything today. By the way, if they're scheduling your induction, there's pretty much no urgent indication because if there was an urgent indication, they would have already done it, y'all. Urgent does not get put off. So if they, on Monday, if you say you had your appointment yesterday and they put you on the books for Wednesday morning, there's no real medical indication because if there was something that was that pressing, they would have done it on Monday. Okay? You hearing me? In other words, if your name is on the books and they're like, hey, let's just go ahead and get your baby out, you don't have to go. You get to choose. You are the boss. You are mama. It is your baby that is in question here. You get to choose. Your baby does not have a calendar. I say that all the time. Your baby doesn't have a calendar, and Thanksgiving means nothing to the gestation of a baby. Yeah, that baby's going to love Thanksgiving here in about 18 years when it can pile its plate up. But right now, that baby cares nothing about Thanksgiving. That baby is comfy and cozy in your tummy, and he's not in a hurry. She's not in a hurry. Okay? Just because doctor doesn't want to be at the hospital on Thanksgiving doesn't mean that you need to evict your kid. Got it? So let's go into this a little bit. Things to think about if you decide to give in and let them induce you. See, what happens then is your doctor or your midwife, maybe I should say midwife because a true midwife is not going to do this to you. They get to be done once your baby's here, right? So they come in for the delivery, they swoop in, yay, catch baby, I'm your savior, everything's great. And they go home, but you don't. You're still there. You get to enjoy your baby, assuming everything goes well. And we'll hit on this a little bit more later, but sometimes it doesn't go well. But even if it does go well, and even if you are enjoying your baby, the fatigue and the busyness that comes to adjusting to a new baby, comes with adjusting to a new baby, that's now your Thanksgiving. While they're sitting on the couch enjoying their holiday with their family, you're exhausted. And yes, that baby's a blessing. I'm not trying to take from that, but any of you who are listening who have already had a baby know that those first days with a new baby, whether it be baby number 1 or baby number 10, it's an adjustment and it's tiring. Okay? And yes, those days of fatigue and those days of adjustment are going to come eventually, inevitably. But they will only come on Thanksgiving if God decides that is when your baby is ready. And then it's his will, and that's a whole different thing. We're not talking about succumbing to a doctor's will who doesn't want to be at the hospital on Thursday. We're talking about God, the creator of the universe, who says, hey, today's the day your baby needs to be born. We can deal with that, right? But remember, inductions are kind of skipping all that, trying to do it our way. Quote, man's way, man's wisdom, right? Man that knows so much, right? Inductions, remember, tend to be longer. They tend to be harder labors because they're not natural. They're forcing something to happen that was not ready. Your body was not ready. Your baby was not ready, because if your body and your baby were ready and God was ready for that baby to come, you would have already been in labor. Inductions almost always carry all those interventions that you say that you don't want. They'll tell you, yeah, we'll try to not do those interventions, but they know that those things usually do happen because that's how it works. Your practitioner gets to be home enjoying their holiday while you're at the hospital dealing with whatever results. That's the first thing. Thing two, remember that your family wants to see you as bad as their family does. Their family is not more important than your family. In this case, you need to be a little bit selfish. You need to make this be about you. You don't know that your baby is going to come on Thanksgiving or that it's not. Either it will or it won't. But if you have an induction, you are guaranteeing that you're not going to be there around the table on Thanksgiving. And if you are, you're going to be so tired and you're going to be scrambling to take care of baby and hold baby and try to get the turkey over the baby without dropping it on the baby while you're holding the baby, all the things. That's real, y'all, if you haven't had a baby and tried to eat before. If you go into labor on Thanksgiving dinner, oh well, it's kind of a cool story you get to tell later. And that's a blessing because then you know it's actually time. You know your baby's actually ready. But if you don't go into labor at Thanksgiving dinner, and likely you won't, you'll get to enjoy your holiday with your family. You have no obligation to bend your life to accommodate the lives of your doctor or your midwife. None. Period. They chose the profession, and that's part of the job. Okay? Are you hearing me? It is not your job to make their Thanksgiving better. It is their job to give you the best care and to put your needs first. So don't give in to their best interest. Look out for yours. No one is going to look out for your interests better than you will. Got it? Next, the first Thanksgiving. Yes, it is so cute to put your tiny little newborn baby in a turkey outfit on Thanksgiving. It is so cute. But you know what else is cute? An almost 1-year-old next year picking at a plate of Thanksgiving food at his first or her first Thanksgiving. Having fun, running up, giving hugs to everybody, hugging their leg if they're walking yet, or maybe crawling around and pulling at shoestrings and doing all that kind of stuff. Making turkey handicrafts, like making little hands and mom writing little notes on them and giving them to grandparents. That stuff's cute too. You don't have to have a brand new baby forced out of you to have cute things for Thanksgiving. A first Thanksgiving is going to come either way. It's just a reminder, another reminder. You weren't here when God chose the time in which He said, yes, it's time to create the world. You weren't here on the day God chose to create you. And He didn't consult you when He decided to create your baby. So there is no reason to think that God needs your help choosing a birthday for your baby. God knows everything about the development of your baby, far more than your doctor or your midwife or anybody else think they know. Far more. So trust Him to know and to orchestrate when it's time for your baby to come. And on that same note, you're likely being told that a 39-week baby will, quote, probably be fine because it's ready to live on the outside. And while that might statistically usually be true, they don't know it for sure for your baby. Again, if your baby was 100% ready to be on the outside, your baby would be on the outside. If your baby is still in your tummy, it is because there is some level of development that still needs to happen. So, what if you give in to the induction and all the what ifs that everybody's afraid of? Like, well, what if this happens, or what if that happens if I'm induced? What if those what ifs happen to you? Now you're spending Thanksgiving in the NICU with a baby who wasn't ready to be here yet. Or you might be spending Thanksgiving recovering from a major abdominal surgery because your body was not ready for that baby to come out yet and they couldn't force it. And so they then told you that this baby's just not coming out. You just can't do this vaginally. And they start making you doubt yourself for every pregnancy from now here on forward. And you've got a major scar on your belly, and your baby may be in the NICU, and breastfeeding has been totally derailed because of the pain you're in, all because they wanted to get something over with. I personally know at least one person who recently went down this exact road who is now dealing with a laundry list of all these what ifs in her own story as a result of choosing to be induced and not wait on labor. And the saddest part of it all is she doesn't even acknowledge it. And she doesn't even realize that none of the stuff that she has struggled through, none of it had to happen. Not one little thing. After all the years that I have watched this story play out time and time and time again, it gets to the point that it reads like a script. It's sickening, y'all. I need you to hear me. I am not trying to set you up for anything but success. This happens every single day, and I promise you, even if it's not happening to you, there are countless moms across this country right now who are walking into this trap for no good reason. And one way to be 100% sure that the what ifs of an elective induction don't happen to you is not to have an elective induction. It's Thanksgiving. Let's look at what you can thank God for instead of bowing the knee to the medicalized model of maternity care that only cares for their bottom line, not for your well-being or for your baby's well-being. And I hate to say it like that, but y'all, if you're here long enough, you'll figure out this is true. You can thank God for orchestrating the beautiful, perfect creation of your child. You can thank Him for forming every cell of your baby and for tying and sewing each one together perfectly to form all that has become your baby. You can thank Him for choosing the perfect day for your baby to be born, and you can submit to His will by waiting on Him. Remember, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, and they have a much better chance of renewing that strength this year with a plate of delicious homemade food around a table filled with loved ones rather than eating some stale, cold, dry turkey on a hospital tray when they don't choose to force labor and rush it before it's ready. All right, something funny I did, okay? I kind of sketched out everything I wanted to talk to you about, and I decided, you know what? Let's see what AI says about this stuff because it's kind of funny sometimes just to see what AI has to say. And I want y'all to hear how much AI sounds like me. I don't know if they are me. I don't know if they've been studying my stuff. They probably have. But all I said was, I think I typed in reasons not to be induced on Thanksgiving, okay? Based on the provided search results, here are some reasons why inducing labor on Thanksgiving might not be ideal. First one, family gatherings and emotional stress. Inducing labor on a holiday like Thanksgiving may disrupt family plans and create unnecessary stress, especially if you were looking forward to spending the day with loved ones. Sound familiar? Second, limited medical staff and resources. This is one I didn't talk about, but it can be real. Hospitals may have reduced staffing and resources on holidays, which could impact the quality of care and attention you receive during labor and delivery. Yep. Third, increased risk of complications. Inducing labor on a holiday may lead to a higher risk of complications such as prolonged labor, fetal distress, or the need for emergency interventions due to the potential for reduced medical staff and resources. Next, disruption of routine care. Inducing labor on a holiday may disrupt your routine care plan, including any scheduled appointments or tests, and may require additional arrangements for postpartum care and support. That's interesting. Another thing I saw one place when I was kind of messing around with this whole AI thing is they said it's harder to get childcare if you've already got kids, and that's true too. Next, potential for delayed or prolonged recovery. Inducing labor on a holiday may lead to a longer hospital stay or delayed recovery due to the potential for reduced medical staff and resources, which could impact your overall well being and ability to care for your newborn. Not to mention, there may not be lactation help on staff. I didn't put that in there either. Maybe that, oh, haha, I said that. And then guess what the next one is? Impact on breastfeeding and newborn care. Inducing labor on a holiday may affect your ability to initiate breastfeeding and receive proper newborn care, as medical staff and lactation consultants may be in shorter supply. That's crazy. I thought of that before I even read that. And then the last one it has is unpredictable timing. Inducing labor on a holiday may result in unpredictable timing, making it challenging to plan postpartum care, support, and family gatherings. And it says it is essential to discuss your individual circumstances and concerns with your healthcare provider to determine the best approach for your labor and delivery, including whether inducing labor on Thanksgiving is a good option for you. Let's just say, and I don't think that there is really any argument here, if there is not a good, strong medical indication that you need to be induced, then there is no good reason for this to be the best approach. I think that's been covered pretty well. And I hope that if your name is on the books, that you consider saying, I'll pass. Now, don't leave. Just need to remind you of a couple things before you go start cooking and cleaning and getting into all the stuff. Just want to remind you about those Black Friday sales that I mentioned at the first of the show. Seriously, make a note or something. Make a reminder on your phone because you know you're going to forget. Pregnancy brain is real, y'all. If you haven't experienced it yet, it is real. So make a note, make a reminder. There's too much going on to remember it all, but I know you don't want to miss these. So write it down that you're going to go grab your course, or tell the person who's been asking you what you want for Christmas that this is the thing that you want. Go to go.yourbirthgodsway.com, down to the services offered section, and that's where you're going to find links to all the things. The code for the Black Friday sale for my courses is Black Friday 24 that you'll put in the summary box at checkout. And if you need the discount and the sales for the supplements, go to the little block there for for supplements or whatever. I wrote it on there. I don't even remember at this point, but click on there, get signed up, and then they'll send you the emails. Remember, you get 10% every day at that site, 10% off every day at that site. And then this weekend, they're going to be giving you an additional 10%. So you can get 20% off all of your supplements in one place, sent straight to your door. So super easy. Okay. Remember, I am thankful for you. If it was not for you and other moms like you, I would have no reason to be here. I love all the feedback I get from you guys. I'm encouraged by you. It is so fun to help you all have better births. So thank you for listening week after week. Thank you for sharing my show with your friends and with your family. Please keep doing that so that I can keep going and keep doing this. I enjoy it so much, and I hope and I pray that you have a blessed, beautiful Thanksgiving. See you next week.